handoff. Adrian up the middle, room to the 20, cuts to the left to the 25, and Adrian's loose! He splits the defense! 50, 40, 30, goodbye, baby! Touchdown!
We bleed purple, and our bones are gold. Hear the horns coming out of our dome, behold. We are Minnesota Vikings fans. We love when a player scores, we roar, ignite the stands. We bleed purple, and our bones are gold. We're the kings of the north.
Hello
our
everyone, and
slogan's
welcome
bold.
to the Purple People Podcast. My name is Kyle West. Adam Carlson is out there on the other end of the Skype line. What's going on, Adam?
I'm right here, and I'm ready to record the Purple People Podcast.
Me too.
For those of you keeping count, this is episode number 51, and it is titled From Dusk Till Donovan.
Ah, that is fantastic. I love it.
With us this week is Jordan Nadel. He's a writer for the Viking Age and a huge Vikings fan. Say hello to everyone and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello everybody out there. Yeah, like you said, a writer for the VikingAge.com that the Purple People Podcast just joined, so I figured it was time I got my voice heard on what seems to be pretty successful going into the 51st episode.
Absolutely.
So, pretty excited about this.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hear what you have to say about the topics that we've got going here. But let's start this show out the way we always do, with Mr. Kyle West giving us a question from social media.
Yes, we have our social media question of the week, and there was a lot of really good ones to choose from. And I went with one from Twitter. Randy wants to know, do you think the Vikings will pursue a quarterback in next year's draft if Ponder doesn't perform well in this coming season?
Ooh.
That question has a couple pieces to it.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta take that thing apart. I'll go first, and I'll say that yes, the Vikings will be pursuing a quarterback in next year's draft. But no, it won't be because of Ponder's performance. It will be because the one-year lease on Castle will be up, and he will be looking for a starting job or a bigger payday somewhere else, and his one-year deal with the Vikings that can be turned into two will not be turned into two.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. See, I think there'll be rumors and speculation about the Vikings looking at Johnny Football, who I believe is just Tebow 2.0. But I think that the Vikings, if they do go after a quarterback to back up Ponder, would stick to their tried and true formula of old veteran, end of career, and kind of stick to that model rather than bringing in a rookie to develop under Ponder, who's still kind of a development case himself.
Mm-hmm. And
I can see
think,
that argument.
personally, I think Ponder's going to be A-okay this season, and I don't think there's going to be much doubts. Like, I really think that he'll do good with the pieces they're putting around him. So, will they pursue... will they pursue a quarterback? In a perfect world, McLeod Bethel-Thompson shows enough to where you feel comfortable with him stepping into that number 2 role, and then you get whoever to be your emergency number 3. So if they do go for a quarterback, I think it'll be in the late rounds.
Yeah,
it'll be
I said
someone
what
to
I
bring
said
into
too. I said what I said too, agreeing fully that Ponder is gonna have a pretty breakout year. He'll be looking fine, so I don't think the Vikings fans will be doubting him as much at the end of this coming season.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of fans very skeptical about his ability, already looking to replace him, looking towards next year's draft already, thinking that the Vikings might have a high enough draft pick to get, Heisman-winning quarterbacks and things like that. And I don't know, to me, it kind of hurts me inside to hear that from the Vikings fan base.
But does it surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me. It takes a lot to surprise me, but it hurts a little. Let's move into our first topic.
Well, actually, before we go into our first topic, Adam, I have a bonus question that was just way too good to pass up. And really quickly, I think we'll just go around the proverbial table here and answer this one. This came from our Facebook group. Ryan Bergen wants to know, why do the Packers and their fans suck so bad? Adam?
They're bad at sucking, or what's the question here?
No, why do the Packers and why do their fans just suck so hard?
I have no problem with the Packer fans I know. Because the Packer fans that I'm friends with are decent people, they're all right, but I sure have met my handful of disgustingly arrogant, crazy Lions fans here,
Really?
which they
See,
have no reason to be that way.
See, I live in Denver, and Broncos fans are just the most annoying. But to me, when I see a Packers fan, I don't care who it is. All I see is that guy, the really, really big fat guy with the beard who's half naked in a thong.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
that
see
picture.
whenever I see any Packer fan. That's what I see. And why do they suck so much? I think that's like, it's just nature. It's the way football gods intended it to be.
As soon as they decided we're Packer fans, you think that's boom, that's what happens.
It's because
Yep.
there's nothing else to do in Green Bay. So it just makes them arrogant by default. That's all that they have is just the Packers. So yeah, that it inflates their ego a bit, and it makes them.
Well, let's not forget their team owners as well.
Yeah.
That's right, they own a piece of paper. All right, now let's flow into the first topic.
Okay.
Lately, rumors have been going wild about the idea of the Minnesota Vikings picking up Brian Urlacher to be the starting middle linebacker. Since then, the Vikings have stated publicly that they aren't currently interested in the former Bears linebacker. But while some fans think this is a great idea, at least one member of the Vikings thinks it isn't necessary. Recently, Aaron Henderson gave an interview with 1500 ESPN where he said he was pissed off that people were doubting his ability to be an effective player in the middle. He also said that he felt disrespected for a while now, and that he welcomed any competition to try to take that middle linebacker job from him in a fair competition. Now, what do you guys think? Is this Aaron Henderson's job to lose? Do the Vikings need Urlacher? Is the Urlacher even any good anymore? What do you guys think?
Well, I love the mentality that he's got right now of being pissed off of the people who are trying to doubt him. Like, I love the fact that he's, like, using that as motivation to go out there and, he wants to prove to everyone that this is something I can do. I believe in myself. I'm going to go out there and do it. And, we don't need to bring anyone else in because this is my job. I like that.
Absolutely. I think it's pretty cool how he just kind of forced his card into the hand. Like, Vikings are looking for a middle linebacker. Well, Aaron Henderson's letting it be known that he is their middle linebacker, and management's just kind of having to sit back and be like, well, okay, I guess you're the middle linebacker then for now, because it's pretty obvious they're not going to go after Urlacher.
Right.
Just with as much public, discrediting of those rumors as there's been, I really don't think that they're going to make the move. But
I'm not even sure with Urlacher's injuries and all that. I'm not sure he'd even be really an effective starter in the middle right now.
yeah, that's true. I mean, can the guy even move anymore?
Yeah.
Now, I'll be the first to say that I think this is Aaron Henderson's job to lose. If he goes into camp and he plays well like he always tries to, I think that this will be his job and he'll be able to secure the spot going into the season. Now, do the Vikings need Urlacher? Kind of. They need a player like Urlacher. They need a person that can help him out and learn. But I think he can get that kind of motivation and help from other players on the team at different positions. Like, I could see Greenway getting a hold of him and really helping him out.
Absolutely, and let's not forget who the linebackers coach is. Mike Singletary.
Absolutely.
So, is there a better person to really learn the middle linebacker position from than Mike Singletary? I don't really think there is. And I think he's got the body type for it. He's got the instincts, and I mean, I listened to him with the 3 rookie draft picks when he was on PA's show, and when they walked into the Buffalo Wild Wings, he just showed the leadership like that it takes to be a middle linebacker as well. Like, as soon as they walked into the Buffalo Wild Wings, he was on them right away. So I think it's his job to lose. I think he'll be great. Like me and you talked about before, Adam, I think that the ideal lineup is Chad, Aaron in the middle, and Hodges on the outside.
Absolutely. We'll see Hodges be able to step up coverage and be able to help out in that category. We got the tackling machine Greenway on the other side. Henderson just has to go in and do his best, do what he does best, and I think that he will be successful there. And I really have to admit that the Vikings pulled the wool over my eyes big time at the draft. I thought they were going after a middle linebacker in the first 2 rounds at least. And when they had those plans to move Henderson to the middle, I just kind of dropped my jaw a little bit, and I said, well played.
I think everybody in the NFL world agrees with you.
And as for Brian Urlacher, kind of my whole thoughts on the situation are, if you sign him, you're signing him basically to be a starter.
You'd have to.
Yeah, because it's not going to be fair to him. He's not going to want to sign with another team to be just on the bench, okay? So why would you do that now? You want to see what you've got in place on the roster. You want to see who can step up to the plate and if they can do it. If they can't, I think maybe if you're in the third or fourth preseason and it really doesn't look like you've got anyone who's stepped up to the plate, maybe you can call him on the phone and bring him in for a private workout and see if he's got one season left, if he's an improvement over what you currently got on the roster. Until then, you let Henderson and the other guys on the squad go out there and fight for the position and see who can come out on top.
Absolutely. We have some young guys on the team that are ready to step up and compete. We got guys like Adi Cole, Michael Mauti. They're ready to roll.
Well, Michael Mauti has 3 ACL injuries he's recovering from.
Right, so he's not exactly ready to roll, but
he's working on rolling. He'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, we got Mauti, we got Audi. Audi I'm very interested in. Just from his little preseason burst that he had last year.
Oh, you can't help but be excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, and he might come out again and earn a spot. I mean, like you said, Aaron's fighting for that spot. It's his to lose, but if there's one person on the team that could take it, I think it might be Audi Cole.
If nothing, I'd like to see Audi step into that role of being able to be the backup for now. Because Aaron is versatile, he can play multiple spots, as Audi Cole can. But Audi Cole is also good on special teams, so it's good that everybody has a spot and a role, and that they can have this much talent competing for one spot.
Yep. And I think that no matter who we get starting in the middle, they'll probably be better than Jasper Brinkley.
Yes. I think we can all cross our fingers and hope that that's true. All right, let's move into topic number 2, and this one is going to be handled by our Kyle West.
Oh, this one is just going to be so much fun to talk about. This was Adam. He does most of the work on the Facebook page. I'm more of the Twitter guy. And right. A few days ago, he had posted that Donovan McNabb is going to be retiring as a Philadelphia Eagle. And then just, I don't know, maybe as a way to antagonize everyone who talks to us on Facebook, he asked, what was your most memorable moment of Donovan McNabb in Minnesota? Which like, there's so many to choose from here, Adam. I want to know what was going through your mind when you wrote that, by the way.
Well, you know how we all have that one moment, at least, of that player that just goes into your head and it can't get out.
Yeah.
To me, it was when Donovan McNabb was, I don't know if it was I think it was at the 3-yard line or something, and he went back to take a pass.
Yeah, I already know the play you're talking about.
And took a safety.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't even really that many defenders near him. I was ready to just go bonkers.
Okay, before we come...
I'm just having bad memories of that, man.
Before we completely trash the guy, I'm going to tell the one good story that I have for Donovan McNabb as a Minnesota Viking. And it took place before the season started. I was up in Mankato, Minnesota, watching the Vikings training camp. And I was up there the day that the lockout got lifted. And if you remember how all that weird stuff worked out, the players who were coming from other teams weren't allowed to practice with the players that were already under contract until the lockout was actually lifted. So there was Donovan, and I think someone else was standing off to the side. And okay, the lockout got lifted and he was able to run over and join the team. And he kind of goes down on one knee and does a little prayer, and all the fans that were out there gave him a big round of applause and cheered for him. And so it set the stage everyone had hoped for a really successful season for Donovan McNabb in Minnesota, and it was probably the exact opposite of that.
It was the exact
Yeah, it
opposite
was.
of
There
that.
was no probably. It was the exact opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people were
my
giving
most memorable
Ponder
thing,
just crap
my most
about this
memorable,
go yardage.
likable moment of the guy, my most likable moment was when he bought Cluey's number from him for an ice cream cone or something like an ice cream cone and a $5,000 donation to Cluey's charity.
Yeah, that was
And,
pretty cool.
That was a classy moment.
Yeah. But other than that, it was just balls in the dirt and him on his back, I think, for the remainder of what he started of the season.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah, I
now,
think he had one game where he passed for 37 yards or something like
yeah,
that.
that was the first game of the season, and it was 38 yards.
Oh,
Yeah,
my bad.
yeah. That's a stat that I will forever remember and be ashamed of. To be,
A lot of
see.
Vikings fans also remember him for that
was
first
against
swing pass.
San Diego, was it not?
yeah, that was the Chargers game.
Yeah, but
That was
Percy
on the
Harvin
swing
ran
pass?
the opening kickoff back,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and you really thought big things were about to happen?
all right. Here's my little rant about it. Don't get me wrong. The Vikings probably aren't mad that Donovan McNabb's going to retire with the Eagles. Heck, I don't think they probably even care. But it kind of surprises me that Eagles fans are happy about this because I don't think they are. Even them, when you go on the message boards, they're talking about how much they hate Mr. Chunky Soup. And it's not a good sign when a fan base's favorite memory of you is getting benched or getting cut. And to see him on NFL Network always saying that the Vikings never have a fighting chance at anything is just absolutely sad. I mean, he's already come out and said the Vikings will lose to the Steelers this year. They will, he said. They have no chance.
Wow.
Well,
And
that's
I'm
his.
curious because he never really backs it up with anything. He just says that's what's going to happen.
It's his opinion,
Yeah,
and he's entitled to it. But
Right.
I'm sure he's got his reasons. But
Yeah, I'm sure he's not too enamored with the organization.
Mhm.
No, I assume he's not pleased.
Now, your post, Adam, got a lot of really great responses, and I jotted down a few of them here that I wanted to read off for everyone listening. And
All right.
so these are what the fans of the Purple People podcast said are their most memorable moments of Donovan McNabb, and I will pause for chuckles between a few of them for you guys. We're going to start with the day he left was a response that we got quite heartily on that one.
Yeah, I think that was the most popular.
Yeah.
Yeah,
None was another one that showed up quite frequently.
None.
Throwing the ball into the dirt, which he did a pretty fine job of.
That's true.
And then we got the 39 yards, I guess. 39 yards in week 1, and him being a complete embarrassment to the quarterback position while wearing purple and gold.
That hurts.
This one was my favorite, and I'm gonna have to censor the way I read this, but you can find it uncensored on our Facebook page. F you, McNabb, always talking crap about the Vikings on your poopy butt show with Sterling Sharp. That one I laughed out loud for probably 5 minutes when I read the uncensored version of that one. That's just fantastic.
That's
I love
gold
the
right there.
beginning of it, where he said his TD pass to Bernard Berrien in the preseason, and I was all like, "Oh yeah, it's gone now. Both those bums are gone now."
Uh-huh.
That's great.
This one I liked too. When I wasted my money on buying his jersey and I wore it once and was humiliated.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just I got 2 more here. How many
Okay.
times the football met the turf? Tim Tebow is a better passer. So
Ouch.
there we go. We've met our Tim Tebow quota for the week. And then the final one, the most memorable moment for Donovan McNabb in Minnesota was the night he got benched for Christian Ponder.
I enjoyed that night.
Yeah, that was a good night.
That was good. Christian Ponder came out and had himself a game that day too.
Sure did. All right, and that'll do it, I believe, for our McNabb topic, unless you guys have anything else you want to add to that one.
No,
Nope.
I got one more comment I saw where
All right.
about someone's favorite moment was him cuddling in the fetal position in the end zone. I remember that.
That's the one that's burned into my head. Like, when everyone says McNabb, that's the first thing I see. and it's not nice. I know he's had success in Philly, and he's had all these great plays, but when you say McNabb, I just picture him curled up in a little ball in the end zone taking a safety. It's just not nice. All right, for our last topic, we're going to have Jordan actually take the lead on this one. And he's going to be talking to us about the new stadium features and maybe a little bit about TCF. We'll see.
All right. Well, I do want to start with TCF because how fun is it going to be to have outdoor football in Minnesota for the next 2 years?
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Getting to see all these young kids we're drafting out of Florida schools go out there and play in the middle of December in Minneapolis.
It's going to be interesting.
It should be fun. I'm not sure if I heard they're doing something with the turf so that it's not like a concrete slab.
Yeah, they're putting the heating coils in there, right?
Yeah, they're going to be putting heating coils underneath the field.
Now, what I didn't understand is why they would only allow one primetime game a year there. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is. Do you guys know?
I haven't even heard that, so that's news to me.
Yeah, the part of the contract that they got, it was $3 million a year, but the Vikings were only allowed to play one primetime game there a year.
Interesting.
Which, given their record on primetime, I'm not too disappointed with.
Right.
But so I just didn't see what the logic was behind it.
If I was to venture a guess with that one, I would say because it's a college stadium, the NFL is really weird about how their product gets presented, to other people, that are watching it on TV and stuff, to the masses. Probably the NFL doesn't want the Vikings to be represented in a small college stadium to a national audience. That'd be my guess with it.
All right, I'm going to go a step further now that you mentioned that. Now that I'm thinking, they have the alcohol license and they're going to be playing at a college place, and you're going to be having a bunch of drunk college kids going into Monday or maybe even Tuesday night or Tuesday day, and we can't have that. I kind of get that now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't thought about that. That does make sense because it didn't come from the league. It was handed down from the TCF stadium. Whoever the powers that be there.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that though. That's interesting.
Yeah, so we're $3 million a year. I think that's not bad. I guess, but
could be worse.
Yeah, and that new stadium though that we got. Wow, that thing looks like some kind of Star Wars vehicle.
I've seen the memes about that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. I'm very excited. I love the big glass doors. I love the glass roof. That's the first in the country of any major sporting venue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It should be pretty slick. I'm loving it. What do you guys think about it?
1.6 million square feet. Seats 65,000 people. And it's going to have the skywalk connecting. It's going to have that outdoor area there. This angled roof that self-cleans. I mean, it's really just a piece of architectural wonder.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. HKS did a great job.
Yeah, I love the way the new stadium looks, and I don't understand the people that are complaining about it, saying that it looks too artsy and it doesn't look like a football stadium. I think it's important to remember that part of getting this deal done in Minnesota is that it's a multi-purpose venue for the state that they can use for things other than simply football.
Yeah, I think
I'll go ahead.
A huge part of what they're trying to do there is draw an MLS franchise to Minnesota as well.
Yeah. But the coolest thing I think about that stadium is the metal that the stadium is made of. Have you guys read up a little bit on that?
I have not.
I haven't, but you always find the most obscure things like that, so this will be interesting.
Now, you know how some people were complaining that the building was a little too silver or it looked like, an old car from the 80s? Well, the thing is the metal in the stadium, it's got a weird zinc alloy in it. So as the sun changes positions, the stadium will appear to change colors.
No shit.
Really?
I'm serious.
Wow, that's really cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah, neither did
on
I.
the side of the building, in the pictures that you've seen, there's a picture of Adrian Peterson on the side of the building.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
that picture can be changed to whatever people want. And that's something I think is real cool too, because if you get like a soccer franchise or something like that in here, that would be one of the best advertisements that you can have.
I was
Absolutely.
wondering about that in the photos. It's like they show a big painting, I didn't know what it was, of Adrian on the side of the building. And every time I looked at it, I wondered, is that legitimately going to be there on the side of it, or are they just sticking that in because it looks cool on the photo? But if that's something they can change out, like, that's really neat.
Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
The more I learn about the stadium, the more interested I am, and the cooler I think it is.
Yeah. I did not know that, though. I'm very, very excited about that as well. It changes colors depending on the sun's position. I like that. But I figured it had to be a projected image on the side because Peterson's not going to be a Viking forever.
Oh, no, he will be. He will be.
Well,
I'm
yes.
going to make sure of it.
Yes,
When he's 70 years old, he'll still be on the team. Otherwise, I'm going to throw a fit.
Yes, he'll be there in some capacity. But but hey, Bud Grant's still a Viking. So
That's true.
I guess
A lot of
that's
people
true.
were
But
concerned too about the heating of the stadium. But what's really cool is how the roof allows for it to be naturally heated, and if it gets too hot, they can open those walls on the side, and it provides ventilation. It's really a super cool stadium.
yeah, and they guarantee that the roof won't collapse no matter how much snow's on there.
That
We'll
I think is
find
the
out.
best feature. But only
If there's-
time will tell on
If
that
there's
one.
one thing that'll be put to the test, the state of Minnesota will find out how much snow that building can handle.
That is
Yes,
true.
you will.
All
Yes,
right.
you will.
Do we have anything else to talk about with the stadium?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys if you think that Minnesota will get a Super Bowl after this big fancy building is built.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not do one there?
I don't know, because I think they have to. I mean, it looks like it's going to be an awesome building that they should definitely bring a Super Bowl to. And if you go to Vikings.com and shoot, you just click on the stats on it, they mention Super Bowl like 3 or 4 times just in that article alone. So clearly that's like they're making a big time push for it.
Well, you're going to see the Final Four stuff. You're going to see the Super Bowl. You're going to see major wrestling pay-per-views. You're going to see a lot of really cool stuff going on in that stadium.
And
Can you imagine Final Four there? Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
The Final Four in that building?
Oh.
One of the best sporting events in the history of sporting events going down in that building.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, the thought of a WrestleMania in there kind of drives me crazy.
Yeah. That'll be awesome, too. I do have to add one more thing to this topic. I promised one of our followers in the Minnesota Vikings family fan page, shout out to them, that I would mention that we need to have bronze statues of Hall of Fame players or the Ring of Fame players outside this building.
I agree.
You know, if I'm walking up, I see John Randall and Chris Carter when I'm walking into the building. I think that would add a whole new element of awesome to it.
It would. I mean, I've been to Green Bay Stadium a couple times, and they have statues outside. And just the football history as you're walking in kind of takes over a little bit of you. Now, I'm not a Packer fan by any means, but these are some legendary players and coaches. So
yeah, but as a football fan, you know, we joke, you know, about the Packers stinking, but, you know, as a football fan, you know, you do respect, you know, the players that have been through that organization. So, yeah, it would be really cool to see Vikings legends honored in some capacity in the new stadium for sure.
Absolutely. Maybe even just a little wing for the Hall of Famers near some of the eateries or something, too.
I want to
see something to remind people of the history going. Combine that with the future and the new stadium would be awesome.
I'm thinking, Adam, that I want to see a big bronze statue of Randy Moss with his great big afro just pulling his pants down.
Oh, no.
And just face it whichever way, like, towards Green Bay is. Like, just have him facing that direction. That'd be awesome.
Terrible. All right, that'll lead us right into quick hits. And we are going to talk about, well, we're going to mention that Joe Webb has been officially moved from quarterback to wide receiver. We knew the move was coming. Had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number one on topics I am tired of talking
do you think
about.
he'll make the team? Do you think he'll make the team?
I don't.
Yeah.
I think he'll make it, but he'll be on the bench most of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting pretty deep in the receiver position. Anyways, I just had to see what your thoughts were on that.
All right, and we also had the Vikings sign all but 3 of their draft picks. They signed Hodges, Locke, Baca, Mauti, Bond, and Dawkins. The only ones left are the 3 first-rounders, Floyd, Rhodes, and Patterson.
Isn't it nice that that's not really a story anymore? No rookie holdouts?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
love
pretty
it.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
Now, if you follow my writings on the Viking Age, which is a hint that you should, Chad Greenway was named to the top 100 players of 2013 on NFL Network. The list was voted on by NFL players, and Chad Greenway earned the number 70 slot.
Yep, I saw that. That was good. I like the way Jared Allen presented him, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was really classy and really cool. I didn't like how on the show afterwards where they did the discussion that they didn't even mention him, but hey, I guess, whatever makes football media happy, right?
Yep. I'm so sick of NFL Network's coverage of the Vikings.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Former Vikings punter Chris Kluwe signed a contract with the Oakland Raiders where he will compete for the starting punting job.
If you read my writings on the VikingAge.com, which is a hint that you should,
I like it.
You know how I feel about Kluwe. I will say I wish him nothing but success. I hope he has a couple more years left, and I mean, he was a pretty good punter for us for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the resident Kluwe fan around here, and I really hope that he picks up in Oakland, which I'm sure he will, and I will buy a jersey if he makes the final squad, which I'm sure he will.
I don't know, it's tough competition, man.
You would wear a Raiders jersey?
Yeah, I'd wear it every now and then. It'd have to be during the off season. Like, I can't wear any other team like during the regular season other than the Vikings, but in the middle of the summer I can bust out like my Kurt Warner jersey or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool. Still a Raiders jersey though. That's different.
I know, it would be weird. I don't know if I could do it.
I would do the spiked shoulder pads to go the whole 9 if I wore a Raiders gear.
Just like walking around in the shopping mall and stuff, just like all decked out.
And for our last quick hit of the night, or week I guess, since this is a weekly show, Vikings backup quarterback Matt Castle celebrated his 31st birthday on Friday.
Happy birthday, Matt.
That's right.
Do you think he'll be starting for the Jets next year, Adam?
No.
Yeah, well, you said he's going to be leaving the team and going some other place to start, so it might as well be the Jets, right?
No, my money's on Jacksonville.
They got Denard Robinson. They're fine.
They still don't have a quarterback on their roster, man. It's rough there.
Hey. I heard someone really stick up for Blaine Gabbert on NFL Network. I forget who it was, but they said he's good. He's a good quarterback.
Was it Donovan McNabb?
Yeah, I'm thinking it was.
And that brings our whole episode full circle, so I think we'll end on that note. I'd like to thank everyone for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to Jordan Nadel for joining us. Thank you to Kyle West for everything that he does because he is wonderful. And I'd like to remind everyone to stay classy, Minnesota.
Indeed, stay classy.
We bleed purple and our bones are gold. Hear the horns coming out of our dome, behold. We are Minnesota Vikings fans. We love when a player scores, we roar, ignite the stands. We bleed purple and our bones are gold. We're the kings of the north, our slogan skull. No Packer, no bear, no lion can beat us. We will punish anyone if they try to defeat us. He's the MVP, appreciated greatly. Running all day, 2K, that's AP. Make a defense cry or maybe beg. ACL stands for Adrian's crazy leg. He's the heart of the team. 28 holding up that Lombardi is a part of the dream. We will never give up. We find the faith to move past 09 and 98.